In life, pain is inevitable. We all go through experiences that leave scars, some visible, many hidden deep within. These wounds come from loss, heartbreak, betrayal,
Trauma.
illness, and disappointments that shake us to our core. Healing is not about forgetting these experiences. It is about learning how to live with them, how to grow through them, and ultimately how to return to a state of wholeness. Healing is not linear, nor is it simple. It is a lifelong journey, one that requires patience, compassion, courage, and love. The nature of wounds. We must first acknowledge that we are wounded. So many of us walk through life, carrying emotional burdens we've never spoken about. We bury our pain, numb it, or deny it, because society teaches us that vulnerability is weakness. But unacknowledged pain does not disappear, it festers, manifesting in anxiety, depression, anger, or chronic stress. Healing begins when we dare to be honest with ourselves and with others about what hurts. Emotional healing, listening to the heart. Emotional healing requires us to feel. It asks us to sit with the uncomfortable sadness, fear, shame, guilt, and allow those emotions to rise and pass. We cannot heal what we do not allow ourselves to feel. It is in giving space to our emotions that we begin to understand them. Journaling, therapy, meditation, crying, talking to trusted friends. These are all tools to help us process. Healing emotionally also means setting boundaries, walking away from toxic situations, and learning how to be gentle with ourselves. Physical healing. The body remembers. Our bodies carry memories. Trauma lives not only in the mind, but in the muscles, the nervous system, and the cells. That's why physical healing is so interconnected with emotional and mental healing. Practices like yoga, breathwork, massage, dancing, and mindful movement can help release stored tension and bring us back into our bodies. Nourishing our physical selves with good food, rest, nature, and movement is an act of self-love that facilitates deeper healing. Mental healing, rewriting the narrative. Our minds are storytellers. They repeat scripts that we've learned throughout our lives, some helpful, some destructive. I'm not good enough. I always fail. I can't be loved. Healing the mind means becoming aware of these inner narratives and learning to rewrite them. Cognitive behavioral therapy, affirmations, mindfulness, and self-awareness can help us reprogram our thoughts. Mental healing also involves learning how to be present, how to manage stress, and how to create space for joy and curiosity again. Spiritual healing, reconnection with meaning. For many, healing also involves reconnecting with something greater, a sense of purpose, a spiritual path, a higher self. Spiritual healing is not limited to religion. It is about finding meaning, feeling connected, and living in alignment with our deepest values. This may involve prayer, meditation, time in nature, creative expression, service to others, or simply quiet reflection. Spiritual healing helps us make peace with the unknown, to forgive, and to trust the unfolding of life. The power of community. Healing is deeply personal, but it does not happen in isolation. We heal in safe spaces, in relationships where we are seen and accepted. Community can be a powerful medicine, whether it's therapy groups, spiritual circles, close friendships, or online support networks. Being surrounded by others who understand and validate our experiences can accelerate healing. When we speak our truth and are met with empathy, something shifts inside us. Forgiveness, the release of chains. One of the most powerful aspects of healing is forgiveness, not for the benefit of those who hurt us, but for ourselves. Forgiveness does not mean forgetting or excusing harm. It means releasing the grip that pain has on our lives. It is an act of liberation, of choosing peace over resentment. Sometimes the hardest person to forgive is ourselves. Healing invites us to let go of past mistakes and recognize that we are always worthy of redemption. Acceptance and integration. Healing is not about returning to who we were before the pain. It is about becoming someone new, someone wiser, softer, stronger. True healing involves acceptance. Accepting the past, accepting the present, and embracing all parts of ourselves, even the broken, messy, wounded ones. Integration means recognizing that our wounds are part of our story, but they do not define us. They become sources of strength, empathy, and wisdom. Daily practices for healing. Healing is not a destination, it is a practice. Here are some simple daily practices to support the journey. Morning stillness. Start the day with quiet reflection, breath or prayer. Gratitude journal. Write down 3 things you're grateful for each day. Movement, stretch, walk. Dance or exercise in a way that feels good. Digital detox. Spend time away from screens to reconnect with the real world. Creative expression. Write, paint, sing, cook, express compassion. Speak to yourself with kindness. You're doing your best. Listen to your body signals. Rest is not laziness, it is necessary. Nature time. Go outside. Breathe. Notice the beauty around you. Connection, reach out to someone. Share. Listen. Love. Reflection. At night, ask, what did I learn today about myself? Conclusion. Healing is not easy. It requires courage to face the darkness and perseverance to keep going. But every step toward healing is a step toward freedom, peace, and authenticity. You are not broken. You are becoming. You are returning to the truth of who you are, and you are never alone on this journey. Keep walking. Keep healing. The light is within you. The art of patience in healing. Healing does not follow a timeline. It is not something we can rush or control. Often, we wish the pain would disappear overnight, that we could wake up one morning and feel whole again. But healing works in layers. Sometimes we feel we've made progress, only to find ourselves crying over the same wound months later. This does not mean we have failed. It means we are human. Patience is one of the most difficult virtues to practice, especially when we are hurting. We live in a world of instant gratification, where solutions are expected to be quick and efficient. But the soul moves slower. Our wounds often ask for time, repetition, and tenderness. Think of healing like tending to a garden. You cannot force flowers to bloom faster. You prepare the soil, water the roots, give it sunlight, and trust the process. Some days, nothing seems to change. Then one morning you notice a bud, and eventually, with enough care, beauty emerges. Healing is just like that. Healing in relationships. Relationships are both a source of our deepest wounds and our greatest healing. Many of us carry emotional injuries from love that was lost, neglected, or betrayed. But we also find incredible healing in love that is patient, honest, and safe. To heal in relationship means we allow ourselves to be seen in our vulnerability. It means we dare to express needs, set boundaries, and communicate openly. It also means choosing partners, friends, or companions who hold space without judgment. But it starts within. Self-love is the foundation for all other love. When we learn to accept and nurture ourselves, we stop chasing love that hurts and start welcoming love that heals. We stop trying to be perfect and start embracing authenticity. We understand that we are not too much, that our needs are valid, that we are worthy of love exactly as we are. When grief becomes a teacher. One of the most profound forms of healing occurs after loss. Grief changes us. It rips away illusions and reminds us of the fragility of life. Whether it's the death of a loved one, the end of a relationship, or the loss of a dream, grief invites us to feel the full spectrum of human emotion. We often try to rush through grief to get to the acceptance stage, but grief has its own rhythm. Sometimes we feel okay, and the next day we're overwhelmed with sorrow again. That's normal. Grief is not linear, it spirals, loops, and unfolds in its own way. Yet within grief is a powerful teacher. It teaches us presence, compassion, and the impermanence of everything. It brings us closer to our spiritual core. When we allow grief to move through us rather than resist it, it softens us. It opens us to love more deeply, to appreciate the now, and to honor those we've lost by how we live. The medicine of time. They say time heals all wounds. That's not entirely true. Time alone doesn't heal. What we do with time matters. If we spend time avoiding our emotions, numbing ourselves, or blaming others, healing does not happen. But if we use time to reflect, to grow, to seek help, and to nourish ourselves, then yes, time becomes a powerful healer. There's something gentle and wise about the passing of time. The pain that once felt unbearable slowly becomes softer. The memory that triggered tears now brings a bittersweet smile. Time doesn't erase the past, but it helps us create distance, perspective, and peace. Give yourself the grace to heal at your own pace. There's no deadline. There's no should in healing. Your journey is valid exactly as it is. Healing through creativity and art. Art is one of the oldest medicines of the human spirit. When words fail, color, shape, movement, and sound take over. Creativity allows us to express what we may not fully understand. It helps us release, transform, and transcend pain. Whether it's painting, writing poetry, dancing, playing music, crafting, or storytelling, art gives form to our inner world. It turns sorrow into beauty, silence into expression, and isolation into connection. You do not need to be an artist to create. The process matters more than the product. When you engage with art as a form of healing, you give yourself permission to feel, to explore, and to exist without judgment. Many trauma survivors find solace in expressive arts therapy. Children process emotions through drawing and play. Elders sing songs of memory and longing. Art belongs to everyone. It is a sacred tool for healing across all ages, cultures, and identities. The power of inner child work. A key part of healing emotionally is reconnecting with our inner child, the part of us that still holds unmet needs, suppressed emotions, and forgotten dreams. Our inner child is not just a memory, it's a living part of our psyche that influences our behavior, choices, and reactions. When we were young, many of us did not receive the love, safety, or validation we needed. We may have been told to toughen up, stay quiet, or stop crying. These messages taught us to abandon ourselves. Inner child healing is about reversing that abandonment. Through visualization, journaling, affirmations, and nurturing self-talk, we can learn to reparent ourselves. We become the loving, compassionate, protective adult that our inner child needed. We listen to their fears, comfort their pain, and celebrate their joy. This process brings deep healing because it restores connection with our authentic self. Final thoughts, the gift of the journey. Healing is not a punishment or a burden, it is a gift. A painful gift, yes, but a sacred one. It brings us home to ourselves. It teaches us resilience, empathy, presence, and love. It shows us what matters. Let each breath be a reminder you are alive. You are here and you are healing.